The crowd bursts into cheers. Pro skateboarder Alyssa Steamer is completing one stunt after another. She slides her board along the concrete ledges of the street-style course. She kick flips over the handrails of a staircase. She launches into the air, turning 180 degrees. While Alyssa soars, the onlookers gasp. She and her board seem to be breaking every law of physics. When Alyssa jumps into the air, the board flies up beneath her. She doesn't grab it with her hands, yet it follows her in flight. Why doesn't it fall away? Why doesn't it drop, leaving Alyssa to plummet to the earth? This amazing routine earned Alyssa the first women's gold medal for skateboarding at the 2004 X Games. The tricks may have appeared magical, but they can be explained by the same scientific concepts discussed in earlier chapters of this book. Alyssa wasn't defying the forces of nature. She was using them to her advantage. To understand the subject of skateboarding science, we'll start with a look at the ollie. This move was first practiced in the late 1970s and was named for its inventor, skater Alan "Ollie" Gelfand. Today, the ollie is a routine part of every skater's training and the basis of hundreds of tricks. The ollie is what launches skaters like Alyssa Steamer off the ground, into the air, over barriers, and across gaps. The ollie involves force, friction, and gravity. To begin an ollie, you start with one foot on the tail of the skateboard and the other in the middle, a bit behind the front wheels. You bend your knees in preparation for jumping. The deeper the crouch, the easier it is to spring up. Then you slam your rear foot down and leap into the air. As a result of the slamming down, there is a much greater force on the tail of the board than on the front. The nose thrusts up in the air like the high end of a seesaw. The tail then hits the ground, which exerts force on the tail and makes it bounce back up. Now the entire skateboard is airborne, just like you. It's the force, not glue, straps, or your hands, that keeps the board beneath your feet. As the tail of the board continues to rise in the air, it follows your foot. Careful timing helps project the appearance that your foot and the tail are attached. But in reality, you are simply moving your foot in rhythm with the upward motion of the board. As your ascent slows, your foot pushes down on the nose. This levels the board in a horizontal position. For a moment, you seem to be hanging in the air. Then gravity exerts its power. You and the board fall back down together. Friction allows you to direct the control of the board. Friction occurs when two surfaces rub against each other. When the surfaces are smooth, like sheets of ice, there's less friction. When surfaces are rough, like sandpaper, there's more friction. In this case, there's plenty of friction, since the sole of a skater's shoe and the top of a skateboard are designed with this in mind. As you drag your foot against the surface of the board, you can pull it higher and guide it up beneath you. Any beginner's first project should be to learn the ollie. After that, there's a host of other, more difficult tricks to try. For example, one of the stunts Alyssa performed in her medal-winning routine was the frontside 180. The number 180 refers to how far the skater turns in the air. There are 360 degrees in a circle, so doing a 180 means making a half-circle turn. A skater starts by doing an ollie and then spins around in the air. When the skater lands, the tail of the board is in front, and the skater's leg positions are completely reversed. What's amazing to spectators is the way the skater seems to do this in midair. How is it possible when the skater has nothing to push off of except air? The secret lies in the rotation. While rolling into an ollie, you first rotate your upper body in the opposite direction that you're going to turn. It's like twisting the key on a wind-up toy. Just as the toy unwinds, so do you. Winding up provides the torque, or twisting force, that allows you to complete the 180. But torque isn't the sole law of physics at work here. As with the ollie, friction plays a role too. Friction allows you to control the board with your feet, in time with the rotation of your body. Skaters like Alyssa Steamer subject themselves to intense forces, including gravity, torque, and friction, and mistakes can be painful. The fact that these athletes are not magicians becomes obvious when a trick goes wrong. No one knows better than Alyssa. She's fractured both hands while skating, and she once broke her teeth on the pavement. Even the worst spills, however, have never managed to stunt her interest in this seemingly magical yet perfectly scientific sport.